Yo, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome to my corner of the world. We are here to react to something that I think is going to be very interesting. Superman dominates the Peacemakers. Absolute Superman 1. Now, I am a comic book nerd. Granted, I have not read too many comic books, but I love like the comic book genre when it comes to like different like content like DC, Marvel, like different manga, like different like manhwas and stuff like that. I don't always read them. I mainly watch them and like play them through video games. But I've been trying recently to get more into diving into comic book lore, and I figured that reading them or like reacting to them would be a good way to do that. And I figure I'd start with Absolute Superman. Technically, I have started already with Absolute Batman. I just want to put this out there now. I have been watching Zephyr's reactions to Absolute Batman, and I have been enjoying doing that, so I figured there was no point in me starting to react to Absolute Batman since I've already been kind of watching that on my own. So I figured that I'd go with Absolute Superman. So I think this is gonna be fun. Comic Historian always does a good job and like giving this to us. So yeah, let's hop in. I think this is gonna be a fun journey. Link to the original video will be in the description if you want to check it out on your own. Let's run this up.
Kal-El has arrived on Earth as an adult and must become the absolute Superman. Welcome to the Comic Story and Complete Story series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read them dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. If you enjoy this story, be sure to go check it out at your local comic shop. Today, we complete the introduction to the Absolute Trinity with Absolute Superman #1 by Jason Aaron. This is not the Superman
yeah, I did notice that Wonder Woman was there too on the channel.
Krypton
I guess it goes Batman, Wonder Woman, then Superman.
For reasons unknown. I hope you enjoy.
Maybe I'll check out the Wonder Woman one after.
Years from Earth, the planet of Krypton is a bustling metropolis. The sprawling city centers of such places as Kandor are ruled by the clerics of the Science
This is
League.
one volcanic-looking city.
Full of lab-grown gardens and powered by lava-fused energy plants. Krypton is ruled by a class-based system. Kryptonians wear the symbol of their class on their chest, with the Science League lording over all. And the elves were not among them. We find Lara L out in the Redlands, the vast farming centers of Krypton. She works underneath an ancient machine, trying to get it working for the farmer. The old man sighs and stands, looking up at the sky, his chest covered in the S of the working class. Clerics charged me for an early morning downpour, but I haven't seen so much as a drizzle. The old farmer sighs. Lara shrugs from her place beneath the tractor. You know how it is with the Science League. The science always takes a bit longer when it's for the Redlands, she points out. She slides out from beneath the tractor and gives it a pat. The farmer smiles as the engine rumbles to life. You're the only mechanic around who's been able to keep this old girl running.
I just want to say I do find it pretty ironic that they called this place the Redlands earlier, when it looks far more red in the city than it does out here in this desert. That's pretty ironic.
He nods as the tractor rumbles off to complete its work.
Here it just looks like a balanced coloring. In the city it looks full
From the
on
days
red.
when things were still made by somebody's hands, she tells him with a shrug. Overhead, drones fly over the farmlands. Looks like your rain finally showed up, Lara says as she motions to the drones. The rain starts quickly after the drones drop their cloudy payload, drenching the two and the farmlands. About damn time. Come on, let's get inside before we get drenched, the farmer says. But Lara doesn't move. She opens her arms wide and raises her face to the sky, letting the precious water fall over her as it quenches the dry farmlands of the rain.
I imagine out in the desert that water does feel good.
Don't you want to get your money's worth? She asks. There was a time when Lara was on the fast track for the Science League, But as a child, she wrote a report that criticized Krypton's lack of funding for interstellar exploration. She was labeled unruly and forbidden from applying to the League.
Oh, wow.
She was 9 years old.
9?
Meanwhile,
Bruh.
Jor-El makes his way into the mines deep beneath the planet. Sun crystals sparkle around him as he moves with the workers, shining their lights. Warning sirens continue to sound, ordering the miners to evacuate. Jor-El stops and looks around. I'm not seeing anything at all. No stress fractures, no dimpling, nothing that looks like the start of a sinkhole or a cave-in. He says with a sigh, turning to the lead miner, "Your diggers are sure they heard splintering?" he asks. The man nods,
This looks so
repeating
dangerous.
that his diggers said it was the loudest that they had ever heard. Jor-El crouches, putting a hand to the warm crystals around them. "There's no danger down here. Just some diggers who lost their nerve. We need to reopen their mine, but you're the lead engineer. It's your call, Jor-El," one of the leaders says. Jor-El pauses for a moment, thinking over the issue. But suddenly, there is shouting behind them. "What is the meaning of this? Why are my workers standing around topside and not digging sunstone?" A man
Bruh.
says as he pushes his way forward, the symbol of middle management on his chest. The workers try to explain, but Jor-El sighs and stands up, turning to the manager. "I shut it down. I'm here from geological engineering, and I have some concerns about this mine's stability," Jor-El says, explaining that the mine will stay shut until he can have his drill probes make sure that it's safe.
Good.
The manager glares at Jor-El and points down at his own chest.
Like, you can't get
"Take
any
a
work
good
done
look
if
at
there
my
are no
chest,
workers."
then
Like,
glance
come on,
down
man.
at yours. Now go march yourself upstairs and tell those diggers the League of Middle Management said to get their sorry skin sacks back to work," the manager
So
shouts.
they can burn
But
up?
Jor-El
Are
ignores
you
him
stupid?
and turns away, calling that he'll launch the probe himself. "You must be the dumbest laborer ever crawled his way out of the red wastes," the manager sputters with anger. Suddenly, the cavern begins to rumble around them and shake. The sunstones crack beneath their feet. Jor-El whirls and shouts for everyone to run to the surface. But it's already too late,
Oh,
and the
no.
ground splits beneath their feet, and green acid suddenly spits into the cavern. Jor-El
Oh my
tries to help those behind him,
God.
but the liquid
Dude, look at his face. Ew, it's like full on melting his face. It's like freaking Two-Face. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's horrible. Burning is not a way I'd like to go out. That
has already
is
eaten through
horrifying.
the suits of the others, and their screams of
Ugh.
painful death filled his ears. Krypton was dying. Present day, Earth, Brazil. The miners stand before the entrance to the diamond mine. The last few days were filled with asbestos snow, blown
And
into
now
the
we're
sky
on
by the
Earth.
mining,
All right.
and poisoning the very air the miners breathed. But it had suddenly stopped. The leader of the people look into the sky. "No snow today. Must be a good sign, eh?" Joao says to his friends. The Peacemakers of Lazarus Corp motion the workers into the mine. Lazarus has promised the workers a bonus if they could finish the mine today. Inside, the miners are shocked
Hopefully
to find
these
that the diamonds
Peacemakers
have
aren't
already been
quite
mined
like,
and
you
waiting
know,
for them in the mine carts.
the original,
What the hell?
because
Someone whispers, holding up their lanterns, the
Ugh.
light bouncing off
They
their
could be
precious stones.
quite
Others are looking
temperamental.
around. The diamonds have already been crushed, and there's no asbestos in the air. It's simply gone, someone whispers. Joao looks to his friends, telling them not to worry about their good fortune. He grabs one of the carts and starts to push it towards the entrance. "We say nothing. Our work here is done, brothers and sisters. Do you understand me? All that's left is for us to take these diamonds to the surface and claim our pay," he says with a smile. As the workers come back out of the mine, the Peacemakers are surprised at how quickly they finished. One of Joao's friends walks gently by his side. "Joao, who do we really think did this?" he asks. It was the previous night when Joao had been approached by the young man. The snow had fallen from the sky, poisoning the lungs of any who breathed in the air. He had been approached by the young man who was new to the camp. His eyes seemed to glow with the most brilliant blue. and Joao had offered him a place to rest and eat dinner. "Join us. You will be family," Joao had offered. But the young man shook his head. "I've seen the wonders of your world, and I've seen places like this. Industries run on suffering," he says softly as he turned to leave. "I have to go. More work to do. But thank you," the man had whispered before disappearing into the darkness of the favela. Now, a peacemaker was standing in his way, lashing out and kicking Joao hard in the jaw and bringing him to the ground. "You think we're stupid? You didn't mine these diamonds yourself. Someone among you enjoys breaking the peace. Who is it?" the peacemaker demands. He pulls out a knife and presses it against Joao's throat, demanding answers. But one of his soldiers rushes up with an answer. "Sir, the head count is complete. All of the workers reported for their shift today. All but one," the soldier says. Nearby, the strange visitor is laying down in his shack. Strange red wires wrapped around his body, pulsing with a strange light. A voice chimes in, warning him of the Peacemakers' approach.
That does look so uncomfortable. It looks like you have to stay exactly in this position. Like, you can't be on your back. You can't go onto your back at all, because if you go onto your back, these wires are gonna fall out. That looks so uncomfortable. Imagine not being able to move while you sleep. That sounds horrible.
And groans.
I would hate that.
"Kal-El!" the voice shouts, forcing him awake. Kal-El awakes with a shout and moves at blinding speed, smashing through the wall and knocking the Peacemakers aside before they can open fire. "Contact! Open fire!" one shouts, and the remaining soldiers raise their weapons and fire. Rounds rip through the favela, but they do nothing and bounce off the armor of the strange visitor. Kal-El looks around in frustration. "Will they live if I hit them?" he asks his computer. "Yes, but I still advise against that," Sol responds. But Cal is already moving, hitting them hard and knocking the soldiers away.
Bro, why does he always look so cool with long hair?
And 3D print higher caliber rounds. They continue to fire, and the heavy rounds drive Kal-El back. He stumbles through the favela, afraid that the workers will be hurt. He pushes his weakened body, moving fast and disarming the soldiers quickly. Cal stops and turns to Joao, who stares at him in shock.
That suit is clean too.
Take the diamonds and sell them to someone who will. But please, just get everyone out of here, Cal begins to say. But a blast of energy suddenly hits him from above. Cal lets out a scream of pain, and he falls to his knees as military drones continue to blast him with energy. Above them, Lazarus's paramilitary team is approaching. On board, the team lead turns to his soldiers. "The director himself wants the target alive," the lead shouts. He turns to one of his best soldiers, asking her what she sees. She holds up her tablet, showing the drones hovering over the target.
Doesn't show his face.
His suit. If you look closely, you can see it shifting, changing shape, like living armor. And I'd swear he's also talking to it. Agent Lane reports. But Cal is growing angry, and his eyes begin to glow, and he turns a fiery gaze upon the drones. Heat flows from his body, and the drones are ripped out of the sky from the blast. But the attack weakens Cal, and he crumbles to the ground, the area around him smoking. The workers have managed to escape, but the Lazarus military has arrived. Helicopters and tanks rumble forward. As Cal staggers to his feet, he watches the soldiers approach.
Oh, that was cool,
right, Sol, he whispers weakly. "This was a bad idea, and I don't feel so great," he gasps. Suddenly, someone rushes at him from the side. The woman launches forward and slaps a handcuff over his wrist. "This is Agent Lane, suspect in custody," Lane shouts as she raises her pistol and points it at Cal's face. "Move, and I fry your face, Superman," she shouts at him. Meanwhile, somewhere below the Nevada desert, someone watches the attack on his monitors. Wires are connected to his head, and small cities surround him. Tiny voices crying out in terror from the bottles.
Brainiac.
Well now, what have we here? A new toy? Wonder where you came from. the man whispers as he watches. Years ago, Krypton. Jor-El has returned.
And we're back on Krypton. Okay. No, that was really cool though. It definitely seems like this version of Cal might be slightly weaker than other versions, because I mean, it could also be like the suit or something, like inhibiting his powers or whatever, but just him like letting out that one blast of heat vision seemed to like really weaken him to the point where he couldn't even like instinctually react to Lois like surprising him with the handcuff or anything. So like, I don't know, he seems like he might be weaker, but I don't know, we'll give it time and see.
Came from.
It's always interesting to find different versions of these characters and how they would, like, how their lives turned out.
Staggering through the red fields to his home, Lara meets him, worried about her husband. She looks at his wounds, shocked by the radiation burns. But Jor-El is barely listening to her. Of course, there needs to be testing. I'll need to get started right away. He babbles to himself. Lara grabs her husband and pulls his face to hers, demanding to know what is happening. His eyes focus, and he seems to see her for the first time. We can't tell anyone yet. You understand? Not until we're certain. We must be certain before we warn the world, he says. Jor-El looks up as his son approaches with the family dog. Dad,
Aww.
Are you okay? Young Kal-El asks. Jor-El finally calms down and hugs his family, apologizing for worrying them. But Lara smiles. Jor, whatever this is, we'll get through it the way we always do.
Grew
together,
up
she says as they hold
Krypton,
each other close.
At least a little bit.
But elsewhere in the field, a small crack begins to open in the ground. And a green...
Because he looks like... Hold on. He looks like he could be like 8 to 10 years old here. So yeah, like he grew up on Krypton a little bit.
Young Kal-El asks. Jor-El finally calms down and hugs his family, apologizing for worrying them. But Lara smiles. Jor, whatever this is, we'll get through it the way we always do, together, she says as they hold each other close. But elsewhere in the field, a small crack begins to open in the ground, and a green radiation begins to spill out. Krypton is dying. And there you have it. Lois Lane is an agent of Lazarus and has captured our new Superman. What will happen next time with Lois versus Superman? You'll have to make sure you subscribe to the channel to find out. And
yeah, that was cool. This is a cool first part to this version of Superman. I think I'm going to enjoy this. I'm enjoying like absolute Batman through Zephyr and like this absolute universe definitely seems to take like drastic alterations to characters that I've grown up with. Like I've grown up with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, like all the like those heroes, and then like all these other villainous characters that are associated with them, and like they seem for the most part very, very different in this universe. That's something I've always enjoyed when it comes to DC and like their like different universes, like how each of these characters wind up with virtually the same destiny, but like the different steps and how they got there and like their different personalities is always like really cool to me. But yeah, I'm excited to be going on this absolute DC journey with you guys, starting with Absolute Superman on my channel. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. If you enjoyed my reaction to this, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next, see ya.